Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I am your host, God of Heroics, and today we're talking about a situation that we normally wouldn't talk about on this channel, but I have seen this pop up on my feeds so many times in the past few days. So I just want to talk about it and get to kind of just the root of it and give my personal opinions on the situation. Basically, in Marvel Rivals, there have been tons of complaints and reports pretty much globally that women are being treated like shit, to be honest. And honestly, I would prefer that we don't do this and that there is a certain degree of fun to be had with it, but it's not the way that these people are currently doing it. But I also feel like there's a certain way people should be reacting to these kinds of situations, that the women should be reacting to these situations. So we're going to go over an article talking about it, and I'm going to give my opinions on how this basically should be handled and how people I feel like should be reacting to it. So if you like these type of videos, please like to subscribe to the page and hit that notification bell so you can be notified to all future uploads. And without further ado, let's get started. As always, I'm going to leave a link to this article in the description, and here I'm just going to go over the highlights and the important stuff. But first, I do want to say that gamers treating other people like shit is just going to happen regardless. It's been like this since the dawn of online gaming. And yes, that does include treating women like shit. There is always sexism, there's always racism, there's even a little bit of classism involved. And people pretty much just talk shit about anything, whether you're on their team or if it's the opponent that they're talking about, they're always going to talk shit about somebody. Like, you're not exclusive, even though, yes, it is an issue in general. I'm not going to downplay women's issues and say, oh, well, you're not the only ones that have this problem. But I am saying that this is a problem in general. And I would like to have a solution to that. And I do want to share some of my solutions at the very end after we go over their solutions or those solutions that are set in this article. This article is called Enough is Enough. Female players call out Marvel Rivals community for misogyny. Reports of misogyny have upset the Marvel Rivals community. Female gamers worldwide report being treated poorly. They share their experiences and all the ways that one can help out. This is one really good way to go about, bringing awareness to the situation because of how fast the internet works, especially with Reddit. I'm not entirely certain how people of Reddit are reacting to it because I'm not sure how the Reddit community is because I don't really use Reddit. But just bringing the awareness is good, especially when you get like actual clips of them saying the stuff that they're saying. Like if you're in voice chat or whatnot, then yeah, that is one way to go about it and one way to let people know how it is. And then you get the community in that on that social media source, especially if you spread it to all other social medias like TikTok, especially since that's like the social media of current day. Even if to some degree people are doing this and saying what they're saying in quote unquote good fun, there's a level of awareness to this where you have to understand if the person that you're having this good fun about is actually involved in the comedy as well. Because if you're laughing and making all these sexist jokes or talking down on them and they're not really involved in the joking, then it's really you just ripping on them, not joking and having fun with your team. One player, SoupCorrect2910, noted, I get you can just mute everybody, but when it comes to comp, it's nice to have comms. It's genuinely frustrating how as soon as I say something, I'm called a whore, or sometimes when if I say something, they say good girl over and over. And yeah, like, yes, you can mute everybody. You can even block specific players, but I do understand, like, if you're playing competitive, then it's good to have communication with your team so that you can actually win. Now, I can 100% understand how frustrating it would be if every time you talk, people just start insulting you, because that is not fun whatsoever. Like as a guy, I don't have the misogyny aspect, but as a black man, I do have the racial aspect. So if every time I talk, people just said, "All right, jigaboo," or "All right," and they hit me with the N word with like the hard R or something, like yeah, I'm reporting that and I'm clipping that and I'm letting the entire internet know how you behave. And I'm gonna be honest. I'm the kind of guy where I'm not gonna post stuff and then tell my community, oh, don't go after him. I don't want anything to happen to him. No, I'm gonna post it and I'm gonna just say, hey, whatever happens, happens. Like I'm not gonna tell y'all to go after him, but if like somebody or some people decide to hack his IP and go after him, like that's on them. I'm not gonna tell y'all what to do, but if you decide to behave belligerently and they get their karma back on them in some way that they didn't like, not on me. 100% not on me. And I can understand that, some people just say, oh, well, just don't play comp, just play quick play or play casuals. But here's the thing there's rewards for comp. For example, let's say that this player wants the new Invisible Woman skin, the Blood Shield skin, that you can literally only get by reaching gold and competitive. Well, she has to play competitive and win and make it to gold in order to, be able to get that skin. So she has to play confident. That's if she wants that skin. And I think the skin looks really nice. I want the skin, and I don't even really play Invisible Woman, so I can definitely understand the situation that she's in. Misogyny in games isn't new, and it's definitely not recent. But this article does go to say that they had a very similar issue going on with Helldivers 2, which a lot of people don't play now, but even when they were, and a lot of people were on the game, there was a lot of issues with the female community being, treated in very much this exact same manner, by the way. So it's not a new issue. It's heavily suggested to report these players, like it's been stated multiple times that if you just report them, yes, it does take time, but the Marvel Rivals devs actually take being mistreated and harassed very seriously. So if players see that there are actual penalties for their behavior, then they are more likely to not be a dick to multiple players. Another player suggested having a soundboard and using this really loud, obnoxious buzzer sound, like the incorrect kind of sound, whenever someone's being toxic or sexist or homophobic or racist or whatever. And in their experiences, it's worked out a lot. And I think that might actually work out too, because like if when you do that excessively, players start to get annoyed with that, and I mean you're being annoyed by the way they're behaving, and now they're being annoyed by the way you're behaving. So it's kind of just a war of attrition at this point, and most of those people would not like to have that battle with you, especially when the buzzer is louder than them, and you can just keep hitting it over and over and over with no effort on your part. They can talk and try to say whatever they say, and then you're just gotta hit that buzzer and be loud. Nothing they can really do to stop you. So it's like talking over somebody, but like in a far more successful and less energy consuming manner. I agree with these methods of fixing the issue, though unfortunately it does not work for everybody. It works a lot for the PC players, the soundboard one specifically, but anyone on console that does not have access to utilizing a soundboard won't be able to use the soundboard tactic. However, since that's not the only tactic displayed here, things can still work out. So I suggest not only just reporting the toxic players, but this is also why I say to play with friends as well, so that there can be multiple reports on those players. So if someone it's like two, let's say two players specifically are like a duo and they're like, going back and forth with you, but you're playing with a friend or two. Now both of those players are not only going to get harassment reports, but they're going to get three harassment reports from the same game from people that are in the same match. And it's a lot easier to, get those reports in and get them to suffer the consequences basically. And I do appreciate this kind of camaraderie. So again, I do heavily suggest queuing up with friends whenever you play competitive or just play in general, because the game is much more fun when you play with friends. That war of attrition thing that they talked about with the soundboard is pretty cool. But what you should definitely remember is that unfortunately, you cannot control the actions of other people. This is what I say to a lot of people. Like, you can't really tell people what to do. Like, you can't tell someone, oh, shut up, oh, stop being toxic, stop saying this, stop saying that to me. Like, you can't really do that because you can't control the behavior of other people. But what you can do is control your behavior. And a lot of situations like this with bullying, they are mostly just doing it to get a rise out of you and to get some kind of reaction out of you. And personally, I find not reacting is the best reaction. Yes, you can still report them. You can mute them if you like. If it's not everybody that's behaving that way, I suggest muting them. Even if it is everyone, I'd rather play silently without hearing anybody, anybody else that's on comms, and just play the match that way than to have to communicate with those people. Because I'd rather talk to myself or be silent than to be insulted the entire game. That's a far better experience, at least in my opinion. Aside from that, you are actually handling this pretty well. Like the entire community is handling this pretty well. Reporting it, posting clips online, letting people know what's going on. I don't know if you are or not, but I personally, especially if I'm posting like clips and stuff online and talking about it, I wouldn't go ahead and not. I wouldn't even block out that person's username. I would leave their username open in the video and like let people see, oh, it's this specific person. That way, when people in the community that are seeing it also agree with you, which they have been, by the way, I'm glad the community has been agreeing, going against misogyny. Those people can actually log into the game and then just report those players on their own as well for harassment and whatnot. And again, that really, really works as far as getting that person or those people taken down. And that's at the end of the day what we want, right? But anyway, that's pretty much going to do it for me. Please like this, subscribe to the page, hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.